Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back with a big Pacific Island clash here. Fiji taking on the Tongans as a part of Pool D, I believe we are into now in the Sevens in Sydney. The crowd are starting to pile in quite nicely for the evening session. But yeah, Fiji versus Tonga, always an exciting fixture when we see it in rugby union, which is really, we see it even more really in Sevens. But when it happens, we know both sides are going to throw absolutely everything into us. Tonga, they did seem a little bit underprepared for the Hamilton Sevens. That is due to them not being on the regular circuit. But now they've got a big opportunity here up against the Flying Fijians to see exactly what they can do. Looking through at Fiji's starting lineup, it will be Mothunatangi, Jeremiah Matana. Also, they have actually gone with Betty Rarega in the starting lineup. Nathunu, Teba, Maisamoa, and Bukayaro. Then for the Tongans, it is Sione Tupo, the captain, Fualalo, I should say, at number 2. Then it is Hui Hui, Pakalani, Ika, Tongotea, and also Taumafalau, the last man in that starting lineup. Hey, I'm back in Ramsol, says Ramsol there. And Fiji going to win for sure. If not, I'll take back what I said, says Jason. They've got a very high chance of winning this one. In fact, a lot of people probably predicting Fiji to win by about 33 points. That's my prediction anyway for this matchup. But the Fijians taking it nicely there. Big run here from Jeremiah Matana. Just start us off. Bukayaro, good work in the breakdown from Sione Tupo. At least I thought he was going to get the turnover, but unfortunately just doesn't quite go his way. Ioane Teba puts the ball down and Tonga in position early on. Hi, says Brandon. And Fiji win this, says Ramsol there as well. It's going to be the initial knock-on advantage, so they're going back for Tonga's scrum. The start to the match, though, from the Tongans. Showing straight away they are not willing to be the side that are easily beaten. Spacebar has said Fiji 45-5 in favour of the Flying Fijians, and also Fiji from Nate there as well. Now, I should mention they've got a couple interesting matchups in their group here, Fiji. They will be taking place tomorrow as well, I should mention. I was going to Hamish. What is game you're looking forward to in Pool C in the Rugby World Cup, says Brandon. Okay, Pool C. I might have to be reminded who's in Pool C. I know Pool D is England and Argentina. Pool C, I think, is Wales, Australia, Fiji, Georgia. Is that the right group? Is that Pool C for the World Cup? Nice step here. Now going up the middle. Tongatea running hard, almost breaking through. Tonga with another offload. This is a brilliant opportunity for Lalo. 10 metres out from the line here. Tonga looking for the gap. Unfortunately, not opening up there for Taumafalau on the short side. So they will instead cut back in. And Fiji trying to stop Tonga from going over for the first try of the match. And this will be a massive upset. The grubber attempt, but it sits up for Fiji. Nathunu takes it beautifully. And now Mothunatangi, ball out to Maisamoa. Just a little mistake there from Tonga. And it's going to lead to a full field try for Ioane Teba. Sevens is a harsh game because Tonga were looking strong. And then just one little moment where you decide to go for something different. And it ends up costing you 7 points. I read that one. And cheers, Chu Dotty. And Pool C is Australia, Ireland, Wales, and Fiji. Although I don't think Ireland's in that group, Brandon. I don't think Ireland fits in. I think it's Australia, Wales, Fiji, Georgia, and then also maybe Uruguay. Are they the last team that qualified in that group? Yeah, I know Ireland are a part of a different group because they actually have the South Africans in their group. And also Talofa, says Jason there as well. But a great try, first of all, for Fiji early in this contest. They haven't had a huge amount of the possession, but just making the most of the opportunity that they were granted by Tonga there. Now Fiji, they'll be looking to continue some more dominance because we saw in the last Sevens competition, they were extremely unlucky. They lost to the eventual winners, Argentina. Another knock on from Tonga. So now Fiji get another chance with ball in hand off the scrum. Yeah, Fiji, they were looking clinical. And if they can do that here in Sydney, they were already my prediction to win the men's sevens. So they've got to play well here or else I'll be very wrong. Oh. Okay, referee AJ Jacobs just has to tell one of the Tongan players to go back and join the line. He was a little bit too close to the scrum. Now Bukayaro feeds the ball in now for the Fijians. They go off to the short side. There's a man on the outside. Doesn't need him. Bukayaro gets it himself. Filippo Bucayaro has scored the second of the match for Fiji. It did seem like it could have been closer at the start of this game in the first minute or two, but now it seems like Fiji are starting to find that rhythm that they do find so often throughout sevens competitions around the world. The next one that we have got is actually going to be in about a month's time. That will be actually heading to Canada. I believe it's the Vancouver Sevens, if I'm not wrong. And then we've also got, in fact, it might be Langford. I'm not too sure whereabouts they are doing the men's sevens this year. And then alongside that, there will be the Los Angeles Sevens, LA Sevens. 3 minutes left in the first half. Another conversion successful for Fiji. 14-0 now against the Tongans. Do let me know your score predictions, ladies and gentlemen. We did see 45-5. It's the prediction from Space Farm. Malo Tonga, says Sam in there. And win this for Samoa, says Jason. Pass back nicely by Fiji. Tonga's defense. They've been looking relatively strong throughout this matchup, though. And the one-on-ones is where they're struggling, though. But when they double-team different players, like straight away there, nice work. Unfortunately, player not rolling away. I believe that would have been Tonga Taya, just not quite able to get out of there quick enough. Penalty goes to Fiji again. Quick tap taken. Got all of their players out to the right-hand side. Try scorer Bucayaro. Goes to Maisa. Moa breaks the tackle. He's going to be a hard man to catch, and they will not catch him. Just as I praised the Tongan defense, another one-on-one challenge goes a little bit lopsided. And Maisa Moa, I should say, has got himself his first of the Sydney Sevens. Kicked over. Nicely done. Just fending off Sione Tupo, the captain, and then felt that was his opportunity to cut up the middle. Maisa Moa. And then just sprinted for the line, and he was never getting caught from there. John Ika, decent effort for a start, but then realised how much of a disadvantage in speed that he had. Just over a minute left. Half number one. Nafunu kicks short. Nicely taken by the Tonga number 11, Rodney Tongatea. To the left-hand side. Go the Tongans here. Pakalani, loose ball, doesn't go into anyone's hands other than the replacement. Number 99 for Fiji. Another try. And this time it's Nathungu who has been able to score it. Batiraringa was the man who passed that ball. Managed to just swoop on the loose ball that the Tongans did have. Pakalani not finding his man and punished once again. Tonga at least one try, please, says Jason. Yeah, I hope they do get one try. And this match, it would be great to see the Tonga, because at the end of the day, they are an invitational side. If they had more time on the Seven circuit, perhaps we would see improvements for the Tongans, but this is only like their sixth game in about 7 months or something along those lines. The last time that they were playing was probably the Commonwealth Games or the Sevens World Cup. I know that they played in one of them. It might have been Commonwealth Games that we did see Tonga in. Now Nathungu about to kick off the second half again. It's going to be high. Waiting for that one to come down. Fiji try to retain. Doesn't quite work out for them. I think maybe the Tongan player took a bit of a knock in the process as well there. Like they're saying, Tonga just looking to find something, some form of points throughout this match. John Ika. Nice tackle made on him by Maisa Moa. Almost a tip tackle. Bounces out the side. Nicely done by Pakalani this time. The Tongans, when they have the ball in hand and they're passing out their backline, they do look strong. It's just what happens in the rest of that time that has been costing them a lot of points conceded. Nice run again from Ika. Almost could have knocked out Nathungu there with that elbow going forward. The time is off. They're going to check this one. Okay. I think they're actually checking to see if Ika led like that. Put his elbow forward. No, dangerous tackle. It might actually be against Fiji here. I think he ended up falling in, did he? Oh, it's head on head. Now, unfortunately, with head on head, the way that the rulebook's written means that there might be a bit of trouble for one of the Fijian players here. Yeah, or he tried to wrap a little bit. And also, who's your favourite player out of all of the teams? I'll go from these two sides in terms of combined, and I would say that it's definitely Waisia Nathunu, because he is brilliant. even though I can't say his name 100% correctly, although I do also like Bukayaro. And card says Blues. Red card here for Fiji, and it will be against the number 3, Jeremiah Matana. He's disappointed. He said A when it was given as the red card, but in the law book says you cannot strike a man high. Definitely not if it's your head. Damn red, says Nates. Although I don't believe this will end up affecting the result of this game, which is the good news for the Fijians. But it'll be interesting if that leads to any sort of short-term suspension, because I think that can happen in Sevens, can't it? You get a red card and then you can end up having to miss the next game. I don't think that will be the case, though. That is a big yawn. I feel quite a bit. I think it's these ring lights. I've got them set up in a slightly different spot. And that might be why I look so shiny up here, because that's one of the ring lights doing its work. The ball's fed in. John Eakin now to the short side. A Tongan side with a man advantage. Now what can they do? Down the wing, Tongatea ended up in touch. And that will be the end of the first half. In fact, no, sorry, it wasn't Tongatea. It was actually Toma Falau. But that Nepal Lalala knows that all too well. Does, yep. Angus Tarvo, another player who ended up with a headbutt for a red card. Who else have we lost in terms of props? Ofa Toanga Fasi, he's given out his fair share of red cards. Come on, Tonga, your chance now, says Sam. Yeah, should be a good crack for them at the start of the second half. But Peyton Spencer, they did actually say earlier on, for someone who was asking, he is Carlos Spencer's boy. Right. So, George will be at the live stream later on, ladies and gentlemen, the BBL live stream that we are doing for the cricket. So I'll set that up pretty much straight after this live stream. And come on, Tonga, your chance now. And also, you're shiny like silver, says Jason. Cheers. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. I do look very pale, though, compared to earlier, which is unfortunate. I feel like the lighting's changed a little bit. I'm looking through at that bench for Fiji, and boy, is it stacked. You've got Jerry Tawai, Bakurara Billy, Tavita Dalgunu back in the side, and also we have got their Nadal Valo as another option, alongside Naduva, who I haven't seen as much of in recent Sevens competitions. Whereas you look at Tonga and a lot of men who aren't really well known outside of this Tongan Sevens side. Now, 4 tries for Fiji in that first half. Another yawn. Shocking. I'm just looking at our door and thinking, can we fit a couch through it? But I don't think we can, unfortunately. And also, hello, Hamish. Says, Gert, welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. There are people dressed as bananas at the crowd. It's such a shame that they red-carded Fijian player. Why? Says Amara. So they have gone off the law book, which is if it's a head-on-head contact. Unfortunately, because he came in with such speed, as Fijians always will, into challenges, because it wasn't a light contact, that's why they've decided it's a red rather than a yellow. But he was unlucky to a certain extent as well. And I was like, yeah, Hamish, we always get them on the try line. That tackle was not that dangerous, says Amira. Yeah, there's going to be bouncing up Fiji. Get the ball back. Ioane Tiaba offloads it backwards to Moisamoa. And now looking off to the left-hand side. In fact, he's going to back himself on the outside round John Ika. And that is a classy step and a classy finish from the number 11, Moisamoa. Very nicely done. A nice background stadium. Amish says, good. Cheers. It is the Allianz Stadium, the one that they are playing from. And it's looking like a nice afternoon, not just in my background, but also in the real life fixture. So I believe there's still another round of women's rugby coming up later on tonight. And yeah, John Ika just not quite able to stop the man on the outside. Brilliant work from Moisamoa. And that'll be the 5th try of the match now for Fiji. And they have all been successfully converted as well, which is actually quite cool to see. And that one's gone over. You're so bright, says it was Ramsel. I am, aren't I? I don't know what's changed between now. Maybe it's because it's darker outside. So maybe that is why these lights are having a little bit more of an effect. And also, it is my Samoa. Is that how you spell his name? Not quite. So it is M-A-I Samoa. So, yeah. So it's just a little bit different. And nice background, says Ramsel. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's a nice stadium to view. And I think it's because it's got like those wavy seats and a nice little design over there, as you can see. And you're going, Hamish, you might need a pregnancy test. True. I could be pregnant. I haven't thought about that. No jokes. No. Surely, like at some stage, you know how early on in the COVID testing, how like if you put certain objects into the test, it would work. Like I think Coke would test positive, lemons would test positive, or something like that. I wonder what it takes to test positive for a pregnancy test, other than of course being pregnant. You know, like surely there's like a drink or something that kind of sets it off. Maybe not. I don't know. They're supposed to be pretty accurate, aren't they? Got News Big Bash Cricket tonight. David Warner playing tonight. Hamish, says Kurt. And that is a nice try for Tonga. I realised while talking about pregnancy tests that Tonga actually managed to run themselves in an absolutely ripper of a try. That kick's gone over. The thing is, I was watching it with my brain, but I wasn't saying what was happening in it. I was just kind of admiring it. But Jeremiah Matana, he was the player who got the red card, so Tonga making the most of that man advantage, making the score now 35 points to 7. Hey, nice try, Tonga. See his Blues. Nate in there as well. Did they just say that Fiji had 7 on the field even though they were supposed to have 6? So they had to do a little bit more adding up. It's nicely taken. Here he comes, Naduva. Goes off wide. My Samoa takes it above his head. And finally, Tonga says, Jason, nice step from my Samoa. Go Fiji, go. And the chat as well from Emira. That ball's loose. Tonga almost ended up with it, but unfortunately a little knock on from Tonga did lead to the turnover again. Just knock on, says AJ Jacobs, the referee. Now 3.5 minutes left. Should be a nice, easy win for the Fijians. But yeah, there are a couple other interesting matchups, like I mentioned a little bit earlier on. In fact, I'll get the exact times that they are going to be playing their next 2 games. Fiji, they are both taking place tomorrow. One in the morning, New Zealand time, and then one early afternoon. And then they've got the quarterfinals if they do make it there, which they should. That's good pace right there. Is that Bukayaro again? It is. Just breezes past the opposition. Slams the ball down. Go Tonga. Go another 7 tries, says Sam there. Yeah, for the Fijians in the upcoming games, their first matchup will be at 12:28 p.m. That will be up against the Japanese. And then they have got the game up against France at 6:33 p.m. It's their last one. Win or lose, Fiji is my team always, and hopefully the weather is good this weekend in Sydney, says Blues as well. Yeah, I hope it stays sunny, because if it rains for one of the days, that straight away, I think, disadvantages some of these Pacific Island teams who just love finding the offloads. That kicks over. Fiji now moving up to 42 points to 7 ahead of the Tongans. Yeah, like I mentioned, we will have a BBL live stream in about 3 and a bit hours time. It will be myself and George, which could be a very interesting one. If you guys are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We've also got the games taking place tomorrow for the Sevens. We will be covering those as well. If you learn any Samoan words, I've only learned Fa'amalosi, and also there's another one that I can't remember off the top of my head. But I need to learn more Samoan, I think. Just because we do actually have quite a strong Samoan audience at the moment on the channel. Now Jerry Tawai back out on the field here. Offloaded on the inside. Davakunara Billy only recently making his way onto the park after being subbed on. Penalty goes to Fiji. A quick tap taken by the Fijians. Keeping it alive. Jerry Tawai thought about the kicking option. Instead passes. It's going to be backwards. So they can play on now. My Samoa. Flick out the back. Classic Fijian flair. And Nodowalo this time will score. We're here 33 today, Hamish. Yes, a bit warm. So I think we only got to about maybe 18 or 19 here today. So not too bad. And Fiji, says Emira. And also, Hamish, sleep, Hamish, you tired? No, I'm not tired. It's just, I think, with the positioning of the lights, I might have to change it back to what I had originally. And perhaps I'm tired because it was my chores And have I learned? I do know that word, Jason. Yep. And I am how are you? And how's Uncle and Auntie? They're good. They're away on a trip today. I'll be back on about Sunday. So they will get a nice weekend away. I'll be at home. It'll be weird at home alone. No cat at this stage. 30 seconds left on the clock. Fiji 47 points to 7. A good win for the Fijians and a good start to their Sevens campaign, but they want to keep that momentum going. 63% of their try assists this season are from offloads for Fiji, which is very impressive. That's a knock-on from Tonga. And the second knock-on from Fiji. So they will now have the scrum feed with 8 seconds left. Fiji have got the opportunity to bring up 50 points. They really push hard for this final try. I just love watching Fiji play. They have some crazy plays. They certainly do. Do you have cricket tomorrow? I do. So I am going to be playing cricket from about 12 p.m. New Zealand time. We are going to be covering the Samoa game beforehand, though. Yeah, from about 12 p.m. maybe till about 6 p.m. New Zealand time, depending on how long the game goes. So during that time, we won't have any sevens, but we will be doing sevens in the evening, including the quarterfinals that we will have just around the corner now. It is going to be a nice run from Fiji on the halfway line at the moment. Nice cut on the inside from Nadavalo. Finds another offload to Naduva. Inside border to Jerry Tawai, who backs himself to go down the wing. Doesn't quite get to where he wanted to, but he found the offload to Nadavalo, and that will be his hat trick. And doing extremely well throughout this match. Oh, in fact, sorry, that's only his second of the match. I can't wait for the Samoan games. I asked my teacher if he knows any Samoan words. It's the first word he said. Says Jason. Jerry Tawai still showing that even though he's getting possibly near the end of his sevens career, he has still got the skill to put him right up there with a few of his other Fijian teammates. Right, the last kick of the day. And it is missed. So that's actually the first missed kick from the Fijians in this matchup, which is quite impressive. But a lot of their tries have been run-ins. In score, 52 points to 7 for the Flying Fijians. And average run New Zealand versus India, first T20 tonight, says Vishal. What time are they playing, Vishal? Are they playing at 9 p.m. New Zealand time, or are they playing at 3 a.m.? I have a feeling it's a 3 a.m. start, unfortunately, for that game. And yeah, it's 3 a.m. And do they know what it means? I think so. And also, the Kiwi lads always do his best to cover as much rugby, says Nate. Very true. As much as we can squeeze in, we will later on tonight, Nate. If you're missing George, he's going to be back. He's confirmed it with me, 9:15 p.m. BBL live stream. Me, George, and a whole heap of random banter. So if you are new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thank you all very much for tuning in. If you do it, or if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all in 3 hours' time for the BBL Eliminator Final. I'll see you all for the next one.